BlackDiaries.org is an organization that spotlights problems facing people of color. It provides them a space to share their personal narratives through social media, town hall meetings, and community organizing projects. Joining me in the studio are the founders, the two founders, Tyrone, Nero, and Nzinga Christina Wilkerson. Welcome to both of you to Rise America. What you're doing is so important in this juncture in history with so much that's going on, unarmed black men getting harmed, if not killed, at the hands of law enforcement. A lot of people are frustrated. There's a lot of pent up frustration from decades of oppression. So let's start with why BlackDiaries.com was started, why you started it, and why is it important?
.org.
.org. Forgive me. Thank you.
I think that Black Diaries is important because what we're trying to do is provide a safe space for people of color, specifically African American black people, to share their personal narratives. We believe that through the sharing of a narrative is healing not only from the person who is sharing it, but for all who hear it. And a lot of times the narratives and the stories of the black community are told from a top-down approach, meaning we see it on TV, we see it in the news, we hear research, yada, yada, yada. But the purpose of Black Diaries is to go into the community and get that story, right?
And how does that work? In just the practical terms, how does it work?
Well, Ty might want to talk about that. He just recently went to Baltimore. Did you want to elaborate on?
So we took a trip to Baltimore. Me and a few other brothers from Harlem took a trip down to Baltimore just to be in assistance, to be in the space of other folks that are affected by this oppression that's going on right now. So how do you approach someone? You respectfully say, you know what, I know things are hard right now. What I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce myself and be a part of what you're going through and help you. I got water, I have rags, whatever like is needed. If you need an ear, we're both trained social workers.
So while you were in Baltimore, Ty, you were getting these. I think of them in my mind as sort of confessionals. It's a cathartic process,
yes,
is it not?
Yes.
What were you hearing?
There was an explosion of emotion and tearfulness, and then the anger was directed specifically to the police. There was a young man. The first person we met when we got to Baltimore was a young man trying to sell socks by the train. We had breakfast together, and he told us about throwing rocks. He told us about
that he threw rocks at the police officers.
He was so angry and so frustrated. And the thing that was beautiful was he got to talk to someone from outside to say, I understand, let's just have a conversation and be peaceful. Don't get in trouble. Mm-hmm. Because that's what people sometimes need when someone has their foot on your neck. You need somebody to say, it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. I'm here for you. Let me help you up.
You know, and that almost in some ways goes counter to the culture of the African American community. Mm-hmm. I mean, very often it is difficult for African Americans to open up. We've in some ways been socialized to be tough and suck it in, don't cry, you just do the job. How do you see, Christina, this perhaps bringing down some walls even between African Americans, between minorities within the community?
I see it bringing down walls because people are going to be able to relate to the story that they see. The community, the African American communities are still, it's 2015, we're extremely segregated in terms of housing. So you find the same trends happening nationwide from state to state in terms of low-income housing, high crime rate, poor educational systems. And we hope that Black Diaries, when people view some of our interviews, they'll be able to say, that is me. Mm-hmm. I don't know this person, but that is me. That person's from another gang, but that is me. They have the same story.
Mm-hmm. I think we should add, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
That we both have very life-changing experiences that brought us to this point also. My mother died of AIDS at the age of 42, and she had 6 kids. When I joined the military, I had to be a 20-year-old with 5 kids.
Wow.
So I had to grow up. I had to add to my community, to my brothers and sisters. So now I'm looking at a broader perspective. Those are my brothers and sisters hurt.
Ty,
and
how
Christina,
do you determine who you include in your anthology of diaries? And let me just say, be careful about hitting your microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yes.
But how do you decide who to include?
Anybody who wants to tell me what they're going through. Because as an identified black, it would be oppressive for me to say, you know what, your story's not good enough. Don't tell me what you've been through. So the thing is, we have to share with everyone. And that, you know, and I kind of recant a statement saying that blacks really don't get along. We're socialized by the media saying that we don't like each other, but most blacks, when they get together, it's like a party. We laugh, we can crack jokes on each other. There's love that happens.
It can be an instant family
reunion.
reunion
It can be an instant
sometimes.
family reunion.
Absolutely. What's the best way for the protesters, from your professional opinion, for the protesters, those who are engaged in this civil disobedience? What's the best way to get the message through, that it not be sullied or muddied by the violence and so many other things that are clouding the issues?
I think the best way to get the message through, which is what we're trying to do, is shed light on a lot of the systemic factors that are contributing to the conditions that black people are living in. So I feel like with this recent civil rights movement that we're going through, people are looking at a lot of the symptoms. You know, they're rioting, they're throwing rocks at police, they're doing X, Y, and Z. Which makes it look almost like, I keep hearing this word, the thugs, right? These thugs. What is causing that behavior? What are the conditions of their community that has got them so fed up that they feel like they need to retaliate? And until we identify and address those racist, systemic forms of oppression, I don't think anything will change. And I'm glad that people are united in this forefront. And also, you said something earlier that a lot of black men have been dying from police brutality. And I just wanted to expand on that and say that's what's so powerful about the Black Lives Matter movement, because it's black women who are dying at the hands of police brutality, black men who are dying, people who are African American from the LGBTQ community, which is what this movement is about, saying all Black lives matter. Exactly.
Yeah, indeed.
Exactly.
Well, it's been a pleasure to speak with you both, Christina Wilkerson and Tyrone Nero. Thank you so much.
Thank you.